Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at a situation that can be incredibly stressful, highly consequential, and frankly, a bit terrifying for anyone. I'm talking about an American police encounter. If you've ever seen those flashing red and blue lights suddenly appear in your rearview mirror, you know exactly how your heart rate just immediately spikes. But navigating this situation safely, well, it isn't about luck. It's entirely about structure and knowledge. One mistake can get you in serious trouble. And honestly, the stakes really are that high. According to the source material we're reviewing today, most people experience this overwhelming sense of panic during a stop. But why does this happen? It all boils down to one simple, fundamental fact. They just don't know their rights. When you're completely in the dark about the rules of engagement, fear completely takes over. And that fear, that's exactly what causes panic. And panic is exactly when critical mistakes happen. So, I have to ask, do you know your rights? Okay, let's dive into this step-by-step survival guide to ensure that you actually do. We're going to walk through exactly how to handle this scenario chronologically, removing the guesswork so you have a solid mental blueprint ready to go before you ever actually need it. Step 1. Stay calm. Number 1, don't argue. Number 2, don't panic. And number 3, don't make sudden movements. Look, this might sound obvious, maybe even a little overly simple, but it is the absolute foundation of a safe stop. Before you say a single word to an officer, you've got to focus entirely on physical de-escalation. Step into the shoes of the officers for a second. They are specifically trained to react extremely quickly to any sudden actions. Reaching quickly for your glove box? Yeah, that can be misinterpreted in a split second. So keep your movements slow, deliberate, and totally predictable. Your right to silence. Depending on the exact situation you find yourself in, you may be legally required to show your ID. But, and this is a massive but, you're absolutely not required to answer unnecessary questions. You don't have to become a chatty conversationalist and provide a play-by-play of your day. Instead, memorize this exact phrase: I choose to remain silent. Now, you can't just sit there and stay mute. You must actually verbally invoke this right. Asserting this right politely but firmly is, as our source material emphasizes, literally one of the strongest legal protections you possess. It draws a clear legal boundary. Refusing unwanted searches. This is often the climax of a police encounter. It's that high-pressure moment when an officer might ask to look inside your car, or perhaps even ask to look through your personal phone. The tension peaks right here, and your knowledge needs to be flawless. If an officer asks if they can take a quick look around, you deploy your second script. I do not consent to a search. So the crucial point is, just like invoking your silence, this refusal needs to be stated incredibly clearly. It's the structured way to protect your property without creating unnecessary conflict. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the strict, immovable boundary you must understand. There is a massive difference between clearly refusing a search verbally and physically resisting a search. If you state clearly that you do not consent, but the officer decides to proceed with the search anyway, never, ever physically resist. Verbal refusal preserves your legal rights for later. Physical resistance, that dangerously escalates the physical reality of the moment. The biggest mistake. Arguing makes things worse immediately. And I want to highly emphasize the word immediately. Even if you've handled every single step perfectly up to this point, this one behavioral shift can derail the entire encounter completely. If you start acting aggressively or arguing with the officer, and listen to this, even if you are 100% legally in the right, it will instantly escalate the situation to your detriment. Arguing on the side of the road is literally the absolute biggest mistake you can make. It solves nothing, and it risks everything. Knowing your rights can protect you. That's the core takeaway from the source material. We started this explainer by talking about the root cause of panic, but by internalizing these simple steps, staying calm, invoking your silence, refusing searches clearly, and refusing to argue, you completely replace that dangerous fear with structured, actionable confidence. Which leaves us with a final provocative question. Will you remember these exact words when the flashing lights appear? It's one thing to understand them right now in a calm environment. It's entirely another to deploy them perfectly under pressure. Keep these scripts in your mental toolkit. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, make sure to subscribe for more simple legal knowledge to keep yourself safe. See you next time.